As you see on the screen now, the Notre Dame starting offense is on there now. I'm Ryan Nelson, joined alongside by Ryan Dalkin here tonight in Niles. There was no pregame show, so no, you did not miss it. We are experiencing a little technical difficulties, so if the stream cuts out, we'll get it right back to you as soon as we can. Notre Dame offense is led at the front of the line by those big offensive linemen up there. Left tackle is Kevin Ziegler. Left guard, Daniel Youssef. Center, Dom Dino moving on to Pat Banich and Craig Kutschke moving out the right side. Some receivers for this team, John McDonough on the outside, as well as Frank Jamusi in the slot, Kyle Kozik on the other side. The big quarterback in the middle, Anthony Sales. Back right next to him is Ty Gavin with the fullback, Kurt Schmelze in there. Now looking at the Dons defense out here. They have a really great defensive line led by Brandon Sheehy, Michael Tobias, Gabe Fitzpatrick, and Andrew Serrano. Some middle linebackers here. Some great middle linebackers with Pat Carden, Anthony Rinaldo, and that's not Kevin Ziegler. Sorry for that other outside linebacker spot. But the cornerbacks are Xavier Buckley and Frank Jamusi. Safeties are Sean Posner and Ty Gavin.
And so we will start here tonight. It is Danny Simon who will kick it off to the Lions of St. Viator. And now as Danny Simon will kick it, it will be a little bit short. As that will be returned, takes it around the outside, tries to break a tackle, but he cannot. That is number 9, Hunter Leprino on the carry there. And St. Viator will start here on their 35-yard line.
The St. Viator offense has started out games really great, actually. This has been one of the most electric offenses in the first half, and I say that with a grain of salt. As I said, first half. Second half play has not been as great as they would like to, so they're definitely trying to get something going here early. It will be their backup quarterback, or the guy who's not been starting for at least most of the season, number 15, Jack Zybka, who will be the starting quarterback in the shotgun to start the game.
And a little bit of info for you guys. St. Viator is 0-5 on the year, 0-3 in conference. For the Dons, they are standing 4-1 in 4-1 as an overall record, 2-1 in conference, as he will be stopped right before the line of scrimmage. Actually, he may gain a yard there as it is second down.
That generous push right through the middle of the line gets the Lions a couple extra yards here.
About 2nd and 7.
Now St. Viator is led by that running back Elijah Black, number 8 in white. This guy has been elite for them so far this year. 900 yards rushing last year, and is only making better progress this year.
Goes for the pass on the outside. Passes over and gets stuck for a couple of yards. The pass looked like it was to number 6, Kevin
Number 15, Jack Zipka's pass completed to number 6, Kevin Murphy. It'll be third down for St. Viator from their own 40-yard line.
6'3", 155 out of Sunland Middle School. This guy is a receiver and a defensive back for the Lions. He's definitely a big target for Zybka.
Got number 2, Nate Peters with him. Number 22, Nate Peters, as they send a man in motion. And he looks to throw the ball, trying to find a man, scrambling over to the left as he throws it over, and that will be incomplete. Pass intended to number 6, that is Kevin Murphy again. Kevin Murphy looks to be the intended receiver here for Zybka.
He does, as Ty Gavin and Xavier Buckley Ty Gavin and Frank Jamusi were the two Dons in on coverage in the play. But able to push Murphy to the sidelines, not give Zybka a pretty big window, and able to force it out of bounds for the fourth down.
And not the way you want to start the game, with 3 and out in about a minute and a half. And so the Lions will punt it off, and it will be number 27, Julian Schur for the Dons, back to return the punt. As the punt will be up. Julian Schur will go for it. And
I'm going to say his knee was on the ground when he caught that ball. He did kind of misjudge it. He had to go on a knee to catch the ball, and that's where they're going to get stopped around the 29-yard line.
And so you can't really see now, but it did rain earlier in the day. So the ground looks to be a little bit wet. Thankfully, Notre Dame has a turf field, so that won't really affect it too much. But the ground looks to be a little bit wet. That football can get a little bit wet, but it doesn't look like, according to my weatherman skills, it doesn't look like it should rain tonight. It is a very chilly one out there. It looks to be low 50s as Anthony Sales starts up the Notre Dame offense. And they hand the ball off as he will be stopped right around the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play. That looked to be Ty Gavin on the run there.
Yep, Ty is the guy in this Notre Dame offense. He's the guy that they hand the ball off to. They pass it out of the backfield to him too. Anthony Sales has relied on him heavily, this being his first year as a starting quarterback on varsity, as only a sophomore.
And we can't stress this enough. Anthony Sales is the definition of an athlete. He's a starter for the basketball team. And he started last year as a freshman. As Ty Gavin takes a carry, he gets a long gain there. A big option there for Ty Gavin as he gets taken down at around the Viator 45-yard line. And as I was saying, Anthony Sales is the starting guard for the Dons on basketball, as he started last year as a freshman, and now he's the starting quarterback as a sophomore. So good for him. As Sales comes over to his right, trying to find a man. He gets a receiver as he tries to push. It looks like he'll be placed right at the first down marker. And it doesn't look like they'll call it. It looks to be second down and inches. As the Dons are playing hurry-up offense there. They haven't really been taking their time kind of rushing it. As Ty Gavin gets the first down as he gets taken down at around the Lions' 33-yard line.
So going back 2 plays ago, when Sales moved out right and was able to find a man open down the field for a 9-8-yard gain there, that's the definition of what the Dons want to do with Anthony Sales, being the athletic guy he is, as you were mentioning. But that right side of the offensive line, especially that right tackle, is not allowing him the time to do that most times.
And Ty Gavin doesn't have any support as he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. As that will be a loss of about a yard on the play. 2nd and 11.
Now this Viator defensive line is full of big guys in there. You got Jeremiah Pittman in there. You got Athan Hulskamp. You got some other guys, big guys. Mark Krause comes to mind as well. These are big guys against some big guys from Notre Dame. It's going to be a battle of big men if Notre Dame wants to get this running game going.
And here's Anthony Sales. Fake handoff. As Anthony Sales tries to find a man, and it is over his head. That was a pass intended for number 27, Julian Schur. As that will be 3rd down and long.
As much as that ball kind of sailed on Sales there, he felt comfortable in the pocket. You could just see him there. He's not he felt some pressure off their left side there, but he's stuck in there. He put that ball not exactly where he wanted to put it, but he still got that ball out pretty nicely.
And for Anthony Sales, he's got to feel a little bit. He's got to feel pretty confident up there. I mean, he's got a great offensive line supporting him, so that's everything when you're a quarterback. If you have a good offensive line, it gives you time. It gives you an opportunity to look for better receivers. As they hand the ball off to Ty Gavin, he jumps over a guy, but gets taken down at around it looks to be the 28-yard line. As that will be short for a first down, and it is now 4th. And it looks to be around 7 or 8 yards to go. As, again, this is an awkward play. This is an awkward position. It's too close for a punting, and it's too far for a field goal. So they'll have to go for it here.
Yeah, and Danny Simon was banged up last week for the Dons. He's back in there tonight, and you definitely don't want to test him this early in the game.
Sales tries to find a man, and that ball was just bobbled right out of the hands of the receiver as he gets the interception for the Lions as he gets taken down at around the Lions' 15-yard line. And that was number 28, Owen Hickey, on the reception. I'm sorry, on the interception.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent ball by Anthony Sales. Just popped right out of the receiver's hands. That's a catch you got to make, especially in this kind of situation. And honestly, these are the kind of things I don't like to see. On the stat sheet, that's an interception for sales, but honestly, is that an interception? The ball pops out of a receiver's hands and floats up in the air. Anyone can go after the ball at that point, and the Viator Lions taking advantage here early in the game, and that's something the Dons don't want to continue throughout the rest of it.
And honestly, there's nothing you can really do there. Like you said, you just popped off the receiver's helmets and popped out of his hands. So honestly, in my book, that's not an interception, but apparently on the stat book it is. So, and that's final. So as Zebka will hand the ball off, he takes it around the outside. Looks to be outside just before the first down markers. That was Nate Peters on the run, number 22. As it will be second and about 3 yards. Second and 2.
That's a pretty good run there. I mean, it's a backup. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but it's a backup running back, but he still got to the outside. He's got a nice little fast mantra to him, I'll call it, and he got out to the outside. And this is a Dons team that's pretty good on the ends, and he beat him.
So Zebka will be on the outside. He's got 3 to his right, all lined up in the slot. As they hand the ball off to Peters again as he gets stuffed behind the line, and they get nothing there, as that will be a loss of yardage on the play. Or they will not place him behind the line of scrimmage. They will say that is no gain, as it is now 3rd down and 2.
See, this is a dangerous play. If you're the Dons defense, you give this up. That's a new, fresh set of downs, and it's not a 3rd and out on the first drive, which is definitely what you want. If you're the Viator Lions, you got to get this first down. You got to get that fast start going quickly against this Dons defense that really starts to settle in late in the game. As a quick timeout will be called by the St. Viator Lions.
Timeout, St. Viator. That's for the first.
6:10 remaining. 6:05 remaining on the clock, as the Lions will be down 3 and 2. The score is 0-0, and it is on the Viator 23-yard line as St. Viator looks to make a very important play here after this timeout. Thank you all for listening, and we will be back. You're listening to Notre Dame Media Crew on YouTube. Welcome back, as the Lions will try and make a big opportunity here, as Zebka hands the ball off to Peters, as Peters finds the outside and gets taken down past the 30-yard line, as that will be a Lions first down. And that was just 3 runs in a row to Peters. You think that the Dons defense is going to make some kind of adjustment?
I think they have to. This is a defense that's been great against the run this entire season, and this is a defense that's got to be coherent, especially in these kind of run defenses. You know, is the cornerback, is the defensive lineman going to make sure he's getting outside, or is he going to rush the quarterback? You know, it's all these decisions that these guys are usually pretty staunch on, but so far tonight they've not looked hot.
And so we have Zebka. He's got Peters to his left and 2 receivers on each side. And they hand the ball off to Peters again, as the Dons did make an adjustment there as he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. They look to place him behind the 30-yard line, as that will be a loss of about 2 yards on the play.
On that play, I love rushing number 23 right there. Matt Murphy is a defensive back, linebacker, kind of hybrid there. You saw him before the play. He was sneaking up into that C gap, B gap kind of area and was able to get right through there to stop the run.
So Zebka, he's got 2 receivers on each side. And he's got Peters in the backfield. Just be a little bit more communication. About 5 minutes on a running clock remaining in the first quarter, as Zebka tries to find a man, but just has to try and get out of there as he gets taken down by the Dons. That's number 9, Andrew Serrano on the tackle. Andrew Serrano, a big man, back there on the over there on the defensive line.
He's 6'3", 205-pound senior out of St. Bartholomew. This guy is a big hunk of mass inside that defensive line for the Dons.
And so the Lions will start up here. He's got 3 receivers to his right and another one to his left.
3rd and 16 coming up.
He's got Peters behind him. Just a little bit more communication as it is 3rd and 15. They look to pass the ball, tries to find a man, as that will be way over his head. And that was also that was intended to Owen Hickey, the receiver there.
It's going to bring up 4th down here for the Lions. You know, he was an open man there. You know, I saw there was a Don jumping in the way a little bit, but you got to hit that pass. I know he's a backup quarterback right now, and I hate to harp on that a lot, but, you know, some of these guys don't have the greatest chemistry with the receivers because they're not practicing with them as much as a starting quarterback would, so maybe it's a little miscommunication there and just not a stellar throw.
And now 4th and 15 as the Viator Lions will be out here to punt the ball. As they punt it over to Julian Schur, who will just have to let it go out of bounds. As the Dons will start with the ball behind the 40-yard line. Looks to be at around the 37, 38-yard line.
I want to give a little shout out here. Number 21, Michael Perk, is the punter for the Lions. He's done a nice job of being able to control the field position. We saw last week against Marion Central what happens when you give up bad field position. They've done a nice job of pinning the Dons at least inside their own side of the field and usually inside the 40, 35-yard line as well.
And so Sales will set up his offense here. He's got Gavin behind him, and he's got 2 receivers to his right and another one to his left. Actually, he sends Gavin in motion as they hand the ball off. That looked to be Nathan Doherty on the carry. I'm sorry, that will be number 6 on the carry. That is Anthony Ronaldo on the carry. And so the Dons have played very well today on that run game. Ty Gavin has had some good carries. They haven't been able to score yet. Neither team has. It is 0-0 as Sales looks ready to snap the ball. He's got Gavin behind him and Julian Schur over there on his right as they hand the ball over to Ty Gavin as he tries to find a lane but just gets taken down for a gain of about 2 yards on the play, as it is now 3rd and about 8 yards remaining. 3rd and 6 as the Dons look to make a big try and convert on a big 3rd down here.
I want to give a little shout out to one of our viewers tonight, President Ralph Elwert. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the broadcast.
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it.
I appreciate all our viewers as well.
Especially Rob Gronkowski. That if you are a regular listener of our sports wrap-up show, you know that Rob Gronkowski kind of tunes in when we have a hot take. I have a hot take against him.
As they're going to take St. Viator's going to take their second timeout of the half.
As we already see, St. Viator has taken their second timeout of the half, and there is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So they only have 1 timeout remaining in the entire game. I'm sorry, in the entire half, not the entire game, the entire half. And these timeouts could be used late in the first half, but it doesn't look like they seem too worried about it, as they have a little bit of miscommunication there by the quarterback and the coach, and they just got to take a timeout. So Don's offense looks ready to set up, although they cannot set up without a defense back there, so the referee's just letting them know. And so Sales, he's got 3 receivers to his right and another one to his left. And Sales looks to pass the ball, tries to find a man, as that looked to be incomplete there. Pass intended for Ty Gavin. And that will be 4th and 6 as the Dons will come out and punt the ball. Danny Simon back there getting ready to punt it.
That's another missed opportunity there. That's a little tighter of a window than earlier, but again, that ball just sailed just over Ty's head. He jumped forward, but just not enough still. You know, Sale's got to make those passes if Dons want to compete in this game.
Danny Simon looks to kick the ball. He gets it up. As that ball just keeps rolling, as the Dons will get ready to stop the ball at around the 5-yard line. And a great punt there by Danny Simon. Took a great Don bounce and went all the way down to the 5-yard line, as Viator will have some pretty difficult starting position here. Looking to get 95 yards on this drive to try and get a score.
There are about 2 minutes left to play in this quarter. As the Dons defense, as you said, 95 yards. The Lions offense has got to go. The Dons are trying to keep them to under 10 for the time being.
The Dons right now are looking for a 3-and-out to maybe get some great starting position to finish the first quarter. As Zebka has got 2 in the backfield. As they hand the ball off. As he gets taken down past the 20-yard line, and that was number 9. That's Hunter Leprino on the carry. That will be a first down for the St. Viator Lions on the 20-yard line.
He was stumbling across that Dons defense that, you know, those linebackers are not easy to get through, and this guy just blew right through him for the first down.
So Zebka lining up 2 behind him as they hand the ball off to Leprano again. As he will be taken down right around the line of scrimmage. Sorry, Leprino. And so it is second at around 8 yards. And communication there between the offense and the coaches. As St. Viator has a very, very small bench. You can't really tell now, but looking at the benches, there looks to only be a defensive and offensive unit based on the amount of players, as Zebka comes around the left side, finds a man open as he gets taken down. The receiver was number 6, that is Kevin Murphy, on the reception.
You know, that small bench that you were talking about, it leads to a lot of crossover. A lot of these defensive guys are playing on offense. A lot of the offense guys play on defense. So there's a lot of guys who flop back and forth. That could lead to them getting very tired throughout the game.
And for the Dons, they have a humongous bench. They have a ton of guys there. If one guy gets hurt, you would absolutely have another guy to replace him. Maybe not replace him skill-wise, but definitely to replace him. But all of these guys definitely have been developed through freshman football, sophomore football, and now into their varsity football. As Viator will run the ball. It could be number 9, that is Hunter Leprino.
And Leprino's able to get the ball for another first down for Viator. They've brought the ball all the way down from their 5-yard line to their 42-yard line now. That's a very good job of just grinding down this defense here. And, you know, Viator's done a good job of doing that. They haven't relied so hard in that passing game or the running game. They're doing a nice mix of those. He's not playing.
So Zebka lining up. He got 2 in the backfield as they hand the ball off to Lepico. And it looked to be a flag on the play over towards the backfield. There may be a holding call. And we'll see what the referee calls it.
Flag's me holding on the offense. That's going to push him back another 10 yards.
This is now first down and 20. They will for sure call it a holding. This is now first down and 20 for the Lions as they get a pretty bad break there That run wasn't it wasn't a very good run, but they did lose 10 yards on the play.
Yeah, and those kind of penalties right there, they do hurt a team. But if Viator plays like they've been playing so far, this is a team that can make those mistakes and still have a good game. But those mistakes add up. So
As Viator looks to make a play before the quarter ends, as there's about 3 seconds remaining, 1-0, and that will conclude the first quarter of play. The score is 0-0. Very different compared to last game, where I think at around the end of the first quarter it was 14-0 in favor of the Dons. The Dons ended up winning that game 45-6, but it is 0-0 in favor of nobody. It is tied, and I would like to thank you all for tuning in. As you stay tuned into this game, we will be back with second quarter of play. I'm Ryan Dawkin alongside alongside Ryan Nelson, and you're listening to the ND Media Crew on YouTube Live.
we are back here in Niles. I'm Ryan Nelson, joined alongside by Jack Harmon now. Well, Jack, welcome to the booth.
Thanks, Ryan. It's glad to be here.
In a shotgun. Handoff goes to Leprino again, moving right, trying to cut back inside. Can't find anything there. Stopped for a gain of only 1 yard.
Good stop by the defense there. Notre Dame, St. Viator both have great defenses tonight. 0-0 here with a start of the second quarter.
Make sure you guys are tuning into our ND Media Crew Twitter page at MediaCrew_NDCP. Make sure you can get there for the live tweets during the game, as well as this, as Viator was second down and long now for Zybka. Two receivers to either side with one man in the backfield with him. He's going to take the snap now. Not going to hand it off. He's going to try to throw deep down the right sideline. Going to see his man down there. Ball is dropped out of bounds. That ball was intended. Can't see the number exactly just yet. Looks to be number 28 maybe. Maybe that was Owen Hickey down the right sideline, heavily guarded right there by Sean Paz, number 1 for the Dons.
Posner with a good stop there. He's been a huge contribution to the Dons this year at cornerback.
Now a third down, and if the markers are correct, around a 19 maybe. As Zybka's got 2 men in the backfield with him. He's going to bobble the snap. He's going to pick it right back up. He's going to roll right. He throws out right as well. Going to find his man on the sideline. Catch is made out there by Owen Hickey this time, as he's able to get the marker a little bit closer to the original line of scrimmage, but still a fourth down.
Lions should be punting here. That was another great stop by the Notre Dame defense. Fumbled on the play there, but still recovered and made the pass. But I think they're going to punt here.
Yes, it's going to be Julian Schur again, back deep for the Dons. The punter, Perk, lined up about almost 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage as the punt goes off. It's a pretty good punt. Going to bounce around the 35-yard line. It's going to about stay there. Take a little Viator bounce up to the 30-yard line. That's where they're down it. Notre Dame offense trying to get something going here early in the second quarter. Again, still 0-0 the score here, as the Dons will take over at the 31-yard line to be exact. Jack, what do you think Notre Dame needs to do on offense here to get it going?
I think they should start off with running the ball a little bit more. It seems like they've been passing quite a bit this game, and it's just not working out. I think if they start giving the ball to Ty Gavin a little more, they should set up some first downs and then maybe throw it a little more in the red zone.
It's going to be Sales back there with Gavin to his right. Schmelzley also in the backfield there to be the fullback. He's going to drop back to pass, and he's going to tuck it and run a little bit up the middle. Gets a good block right there by one of his tight ends as he dives at the 39-yard line. And just too yard short of a first down is Anthony Sales.
So the great thing about Sales is he can throw and he can run. So when the pass isn't there, he can also run in. He's also got a great running back in Ty Gavin. So the run game for Notre Dame is really good.
Yeah, as long as it gets going, as long as, outside is really dangerous, especially Julian Schur the backup running back, the junior. That guy is explosive on the outside as he's lined up in the slot here with Sales in the shotgun again. This time he's going to fake the handoff to Gavin, throw out right to John McDonough, who's going to be fighting for a couple extra yardage here at the 45-yard line. Excuse me, that's number 10 for the Dons. That is Kyle Kozik on the right side here to give the Dons a first down.
Good grab by Kozik there. Pass was a little high, jumped up and got it. I believe that is a first down.
That is a first down. That's a big first down as Dons are finally able to get something going here on offense against the Lions defense that's been as stellar as Notre Dame so far today. Sales with 2 men left, 1 right. He's going to take the snap. He's going to roll left with Gavin. He's going to pitch it out to them. Gavin's going to cut up the field a little bit here. He's going to find his way to the first down marker and a little bit more. Ty Gavin gets the pitch from Anthony Sales and brings it up for an 11-yard gain and another Don first down.
Offense looks like it's rolling now. That was a great pitch there, and Ty found a hole, and he just stuck with it. I think if Notre Dame can continue that, they'll have success throughout this game.
Last drive we saw Notre Dame trying to go fast-paced offense, try to keep it really quick. Here they're trying to calm down a little bit, slow down a little bit, and finally get some good plays that have been working. This will be Sure joining Sales in the backfield this time as 2 receivers left, 1 right remain. Man in motion there. It's going to be a pitch off to them. It looks like Frank Chimarusi moving on the right side. Nice little speedster here trying to push back a couple of tackles, breaking a couple of tackles, and pushes it all the way down to the 30-yard line. And yet another first down for the Dons.
Offense is really rolling here. Frank with a few good sheds there. I think if they can continue this, Viator's in trouble.
Yes, this is a Dons team that can be explosive. They're the big play team. You know, marching down the field has its points, but this team loves to move that ball down the field very, very fast. We saw that last week with Julian Sure, Ty Gavin getting those big runs to be able to win the game a couple weeks ago against Bennett as well. That really showed. As Sure's going to stay in there with Sales now as he's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Sure, moving left. He sees no one out there. Bounces to the outside. Gets a couple blocks. Moves up to the 20, 10. Moves inside to the 10-yard line, up to the 5-yard line. But there's a flag on the play back at the 30-yard line. This may be coming back with a holding.
I think Notre Dame feeds off momentum. Like, they've got, I think, now 4 first downs in a row. Once this offense gets rolling, they're very hard to stop. And the defense has been great all year. I just believe Notre Dame, their offense is what's going to set them apart because the defense is there, but once Notre Dame's offense gets rolling, they're really hard to stop. As
the call is a holding, so it's going to negate that first down, but it's going to push them back down to the 40-ish yard line now, and that's where they're going to have to take over. Down from the 10 to the 40 now. Loss of 30 yards basically on that play there. That's a big holding call.
Yeah, let's see if Notre Dame, though, can keep up the momentum. Good run there, but there was a holding on the play, as Ryan mentioned.
Sales going to be all alone at the man in motion. Julian Sure moving left. He's going to fake the handoff, rolling out right as Sales. He has a man chasing him. He's going to find his man down the field, but just throws it too far ahead of him. Chasing Sales down on the play was Lucas Barisas. Pass was intended for number 4, Ty Gavin. See, that's one of the things that I was saying earlier. Sales moving out right is not easy for him to do with this this line he has in front of him, so he's got to find the opportunity to get that ball out and accurately.
Yeah, I agree with that, Ryan.
Brings up a second down and about 19. I know I say about a lot, but you know, you can't really be too precise in this game.
What do you think the keys to the second half are? I know we're 8 minutes away, but what do you think Notre Dame has to do to win this game?
So blitz comes at Sales. Little dump pass off to Julian Sure. Gets a lot of blockers ahead of him. Julian Sure dipping and dodging into another defenders. Getting the ball all the way down to the 24-yard line here. And, Jack, to answer your question, I think that's exactly what they need to do. Let Sales throw those short passes. You know, down the field, he needs that time. He's not getting the time right now. You got to get him the short passes, the completion passes, I like to call them. You know, the running game is well and dandy, but you got to be able to have those short passes mixed in to get the running game going as well.
Yeah, they are a running team, but I feel like if they can get those short passes off, that's another huge weapon because they have the speed, and it's just they get people open, they're going to have running backs and receivers run for a while.
3rd and 4 coming up as Sales is going to hand off to Gavin. Gavin going right up the middle, gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but able to push forward for 2 more yards. Brings up a peculiar situation here for Coach Hennessy, a 4th down and 2 around the 22-yard line, as that's where Danny Simon might come out, but it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
That was a good block. That was good stuff there by the Viator defense, preventing the third down from getting a first there.
As they are going to go for as Sales and Gavin stay on the field. 4th down, and they're going to start at about 3 yards away from the first down marker. Sales in the shotgun with Gavin to his left. Sales going to try and draw him off guard. Almost got him going there, but nothing. As eventually Notre Dame's going to call their first charge time out of the half. St. Viator's already called 2 of theirs. Notre Dame just called their first there after trying to draw the Lions off sides. Not going to happen here. Jack, do you think they go for it here, or do you think they just kick the field goal?
I think they're going to go for it with the 0-0 game because let's say Viator scores a touchdown. They still have plenty of time to come back. So if I was Coach Hennessy here, I think they would go for it. What do you think they're going to do?
I would go for it as well. As I said earlier, Danny Simon may not be 100%. We're not really sure, to be honest. But I think you have to have faith in your offense here. You have to have faith in Anthony Sales and Ty Gavin and Kyle Kozik and John McDonough and all those guys on the offense.
Yeah, they've been hot this drive too, so hopefully they get it here.
And, you know, you always weigh risk and reward. The reward here is a touchdown. The risk is you give the ball up at the your own 20-yard line, which is basically a punt then.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a win-win situation here for the Dons.
They are going to throw their offense back out there. The personnel out there, it looks like John McDonough, Kyle Kozik to the right, Kurt Schmelzley in there in the back. Schur and Gavin split out wide left. And Frank Jamarusi is going to join Sales in the backfield now. Ty in motion. He's going to pitch it to Ty, moving right now. Gets him into the line of scrimmage, stiffs arms the guy. He's going to try to find room outside, but cannot find any. As number 9, Hunter Loprino, for the Viator defense, is able to stop Ty Gavin for a loss of about 10 yards in the play. And it's going to give the Viator Lions a turnover on downs.
It's a big stop for the Lions there. That was huge for them.
Now their offense will take over at the 32-yard line now. Now this is a drive that Viator's got to be good on. They have to convert on this drive right here, and in my opinion, to stay in this game. Because let's be honest, the Dons just showed what their offense can do when given a little room. They marched down the field. But Viator has the opportunity to do that too right now. They just got to be able to show it.
Yeah, I think this is probably the biggest drive of the half for Viator here. Let's see what Viator can pull off here.
3 receivers right after the man in motion. 1 only left. In the shotgun, he's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Loprino, moving right. He's going to try to find some holes. He does find one at least. That gets him all the way down to the 40-yard line for a good gain on first down right there by Hunter Loprino.
It's a good run there by Loprino. At first it looked like Notre Dame wasn't going to get to him. There's a lot of holes open, but good job by the Don defense there to stop him. Loprino's been running up and down the field this whole game.
He has, and that's a piece right there for the Lions. Without their starting running back in there for this game at least, this is a guy who's really been taking this game by storm at least. As again, the shotgun snap, he's going to fake the handoff. He's going to move right. That's Peters with the ball. He's going to find a first down after getting wrapped up there at the 45-yard line, but not after, again, the first down for the Lions here.
Good stop by the Notre Dame defense there. Had a few guys tackling him at the same time. That's always good. Can force a fumble.
And that was a direct snap to Nate Peters. Peters, a 6', 170-pound senior.
Viator looks like they're mostly sticking with the run game here. Haven't seen many passes this half at all.
And why would you change? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they say.
Yep.
Peters is going to take the snap, but it's going to go right over his head. Don's going to fall on the ball, and it's going to be Don's ball at the 29-yard line. The bobbled snap ends up going for a turnover here, as it looked like Brendan Sheehy is able to fall on top of the ball there and get the Dons a turnover, a much-needed turnover.
Great play by Brendan Sheehy there. He's been dominant for this defense all year.
Maybe that was Michael Jekin, number 42 there. Sorry, we couldn't exactly see that, but still, Dons take over the 29-yard line.
That is a huge play for Notre Dame. Now they're almost in the red zone, I believe, the 29-yard line. see what Notre Dame's going to go here. If they're going to go with the running game, short passes, or throw it deep. We'll have to see.
Coach Hennessy has got a big this is a big play. As we said, Viator's got to score. Now Notre Dame has to score. They have to convert this. This is huge field position. This is a big turning point in this game. As Sales is going to be back in the shotgun with Ty Gavin. He's going to roll out right. He's going to tuck it and run. Bleed blocked by Gavin. He's going to find a hole inside. He's going to keep on moving down to the 15, to the 12, before he's wrapped up right there by number 28 from St. Viator. That's Owen Hickey there on the outside, but not after a first down. And inside the red zone goes Anthony Sales.
Tremendous run there by Sales, set up by a great block by Ty Gavin. See, that's what's so great about Ty is he can do so many things. He plays defense, he plays offense, and he makes great blocks too.
He's definitely an all-purpose back the Dons use as Sales is going to take the snap here. He's going to hand it right off to Gavin. He's going to move out left. Cannot find many blockers as he stopped on the line of scrimmage, but there's a flag thrown adamantly by the far side line judge. It's going to be a 4-yard loss as it stands right now, but the flag is pending.
I couldn't really see from up here, but we'll have to see what the flag is. Did you see it at all?
When he threw it, it looked like a face mask penalty.
That's what I thought it was at first, but
it's going to be
positive.
A block in the back called on Notre Dame. That's going to push him back maybe 15, 10 yards now. That's good. The loss on first down was enough. Now this adds insult to injury. It looks like maybe a 15-yard penalty, pushing the Dons all the way back to the 27-yard line with the first down marker inside the 5.
Dons are going to have to throw it on this series of plays here. First and 27. Yeah, I don't think that they can run it here. What do you think, Ryan?
I think they should try to run it. It's first down still. They still have 3-4 downs still. Just try to do something. Sales now. The shotgun with Gavin. He's going to hand it off. Nope, he's going to pull it right back. He's going to find his man on the outside. Wide open, Julian Schur. Down inside the 10-yard line. Julian Schur is pushed out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Great pass right there by Anthony Sales. Is able to pull back the run play to Gavin and find Julian Schur down the right sideline for a good gain for the Dons. Bring him inside a second down and reasonable.
That was a great throw there. They decided to throw it deep, and it worked out. Julian Schur was wide open there.
That's one of the things. You see those small guys just get out there. These guys are fast. These guys are agile. These guys are sneaky. Now Sales has one receiver left, 2 to the right. Man in motion is Schur. Handoff will not go to Schur. We'll go to Gavin right up the middle. He's going to bounce off a couple tackles and get the ball down to the 5-6 yard line. It's going to bring up a third down and 1 down for the Dons. Now, this is a big third down. If you don't make this, do you just kick the field goal, take it, play it safe, or you say, you know what, it's a 0-0 game with 5 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Let's go for it.
If I were Notre Dame here, I think that they would go for the field goal. I mean, they have to get some points on the board before halftime, and we'll see what happens on this play. If it's 3rd and 1 still, maybe they'll go for it, but you never know. We'll have to see on this play.
There will be an absence of Anthony Sales right now as Ty Gavin looks to be the man taking the snap now for Notre Dame. Direct snap goes to Gavin. He's going to fake that. He's going to hand it off, actually, to number 6 for the Dons. He's going to try to stretch across the goal line, but stopped just short is Anthony Rinaldo, usually the main linebacker for the Notre Dame team. Handoff goes to him this time. It's a direct snap to Ty Gavin. Gets inside the 5-yard line, first down, but not enough for a touchdown. As another push right over the top, jumping and leaping goes the Dons for a touchdown. Ty Gavin takes the direct snap and leaps for the heavens as he gets across the goal line for the Dons' first score of the game.
Ty Gavin puts the Dons on the board, as Ryan mentioned. Great run there, great defense set up by great offense there.
Yeah, defense is the best offense. Dons fully believe in that right now. As that on the end for the extra point, we'll go Danny Simon. The Dons do this every single play, unless if you guys are just a little confused now, as they set up for the pass for the kick block. Simon about 3 yards behind the pedestal. He'll kick it right through the uprights. Danny Simon's good with the kick. That's going to put the Dons up 7-0 over St. Viator. We'll be right back here on YouTube. You're listening to the Andy Media Crew on YouTube Live. We are back here in Niles as Danny Simon gets going for the kickoff here. And back number 22 for St. Viator, it's going to be Elijah Black. Excuse us for calling by the wrong name for so far, but we'll correct that right now as the muff's kick. Ball is bouncing around as we recovered by Notre Dame at the 35-yard line.
Man, Notre Dame defense here in special teams is really doing great this quarter. Great kick set up by Notre Dame, just stomping on the ball there.
That's a big mistake for St. Viator. A kickoff that was not supposed to end up in the Dons' hands ends up after it gets muffed at around the 20-yard line, and it just rolls and rolls and rolls right into the awaiting Dons' hands. They'll take over on offense at the 35-yard line. Just
like you said, great defense leads to great offense, and that's been the story of the game so far.
First down Notre Dame from the St. Viator 35-yard line.
Anthony Sales is in there now. Back with him is going to be maybe Kurt Schmelzy, that is. He's going to take the snap. He's going to drop back to pass. He gets rolling out right. He's going to find a man down the field, but it's going to end up right into the hands of the defender for St. Vital. It's number 25 there. That's going to be Eric Adams. Not a great pass there by Anthony Sales.
Sales there had the hole open to run there. I feel like he should have ran it, but decided to throw it, and it ended up with an interception there. Let's see what the Notre Dame defense can pull off here.
That's a spoiled possession right there for the Dons. They had field position on their side, and they just lost it right there on first down and 10. You know, that's something you cannot do.
That's something that could decide the factor of the game there. Like, for example, one play, one drive can set the whole game apart. Like, I don't know there. I don't know what Sales was thinking, but let's see what the Don defense can do here.
Zepka's pitching it out to the right side, but nothing for the running back. He's going to try to move out left here. He's just moving farther back into the backfield as he's eventually wrapped up by number 3, Frank Jimarusti. Let's just say a far ways behind the line of scrimmage there. Brings up a second down, and I'm going to guess this right now about 25.
Pulled a tree cone there running back and forth.
You know, he was trying to find something, just could not find anything.
Yeah.
He was originally stopped around the 10-yard line by Pat Carden, got out of that, and still can't find anything. The shotgun is Zepka. 2 men back there with him, 1 left, 1 right. Going to wait to snap the ball. He finally snaps. He's going to look left. He's going to find his man left. He throws it up there, but just out of bounds is the pass intended for number 5. That's Parker Helgeth.
Good coverage by Frank Jimarusti there. The Notre Dame defense, especially cornerbacks, have been great this game. I can't think of a really long throw.
You know, those long throws can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Especially if you get a man open in the middle of the field or down the sidelines. These guys are fast here for these the Lions, and Notre Dame's not letting any of them get any room. As Zepka is in the shotgun, going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Loprino, who's going to bounce off of the defender, move left again, breaks off another defender, but not enough as Ty Gavin grabs onto the towel on the back of his jersey, drags him down at the 9-yard line, brings up a 4th down, and really long here for the Lions as they're going to punt it off.
Prano and Black have pretty much been the stars of the Viator offense this whole game. They've been mostly running it, and when they've been running it up and down the field, but Notre Dame, I think, has finally caught on and stopping them.
Perk is in the back of his own end zone right now as he's going to punt it off to the willing Julian Schur and looks like Ty Gavin maybe at the 40-yard line. And it looks like Viator's going to call their final timeout of the half before we get inside 2 minutes. That could be dangerous if they start getting a drive going. They get down to the 20-yard line. They get tackled in bounds. The clock runs out for them. This could be dangerous for Viator if they do get the ball back in this half.
I think what Notre Dame has to do here is make sure they get the punt cleanly, and I would just say run the ball because Sales just threw a pick, and you can't have an interception here. I would just say run the ball and see where you can get with it with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this quarter.
I agree with you. You know, you have timeouts. You have the time on your side as well. You have the running back of the reigning ESCC conference MVP as well. You know, feed this guy. Feed Ty Gavin. Feed Julian Schur. Feed Finger Marusi. Feed anyone in that backfield. As it will be back to receive this kick will be 27. Julian Schur as well as number 10, Kyle Kozik. Perk again in his own end zone to receive the snap on 4th and 25. Perk's calling for the ball. He gets it. He's going to get a good punt off. It's going to bounce a little bit, but right into the hands of Kyle Kozik. He's going to cut inside, trying to find some room. He cuts back left. He cuts back inside, and eventually gets horse-collared down, and the referees noticed that right away. Number 11 in on the tackle for St. Viator. That's Brad Wilson, but grabbed by the back of the collar. You cannot do that, as these Dons fans like to let them know, as the Dons will take over now.
Cold night tonight out here in Niles with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the quarter. It is 7-0 Notre Dame against St. Viator. All right, Ryan, what do you think they're going to do here?
I think that with the field possession you're going to get, which honestly could be even further in, depending on where they're going to spot this. The sidelines crew looks confused. The referees look confused. Everyone's confused right now, including us. But the Dons offense is heading back out there as they get stopped halfway through their tracks there. Referee sorting it out. The Dons, with 2:09 left to play in this half, have got beautiful field position at the moment, and it might get even better.
Congratulations to the class of 1958. We're celebrating.
As you may hear in the PA system in the stadium here, class of 1958, as they're going to pick up the flag here. Dons fans not liking it, but still great field position at the 23-yard line. As I was saying, alumni class of 1958, the very first graduating class of Notre Dame, celebrating their 60th alumni reunion here tonight.
It's nice to see that the alumni always come back and support the school.
And these guys are flying in from Connecticut, New Jersey, as Sale's going to tuck and run to the right side. Short side of the field, can't find much room, but does find enough for a 2-yard gain on first down.
Maybe a 2-yard gain, but all you got to do is just get yards on every play. I know that sounds like very simple, but if Notre Dame can just keep progressing and getting yards on each play, I think this game is going to change a lot. I think Notre Dame may get up a lot, or let's say Viator just starts getting yards on every play. There's been a lot of loss of yards in this game.
There has, as a referee timeout is called right now, and it looks like they're going to stop the play for no gain on that previous play. So, you know, it's going to be 2nd down and 10, but I still like your point, Jack. You know, any yardage you can get on 1st, 2nd, 3rd down is always helpful for whatever you can do on the next play. You'll be right back. You're listening to the the ND Media channel on YouTube Live. Here in Niles as we get set for the Dons start of this drive here. With 2 minutes left to play in the first half. No running backs back there with Sales. Now only Kurt Schmelsley, the fullback. He's back in the shotgun with no one. As Ty Gavin's the man in motion here. Handoff will not go to Ty. He's going to throw them all again. Julian Schur wide open again at the 10-yard line. He's moving down to the 5-yard line, breaking a couple tackles, diving his way up to the 2-yard line is Julian Schur. A man, again, wide open, sitting around that first down marker. It'll get the Dons a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
Great play there. Schur was wide open. Great pass by Sales to set him up. See what I assume Notre Dame would run it here with 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the half. A score here would be huge for the Dons, going up 13-0, 14-0, or 15-0 over the Lions.
You may see another addition of Air Ty here, as he's the man taking the snap again. It looks like Ronaldo is going to be back in there next to him. Snap and goal to Ty. He's going to take it himself. He's going to go right past right through his blockers, in for the end zone. Touchdown, Ty Gavin is able to push his way behind his blockers in for the touchdown. Ty Gavin gets the Dons a 13-point lead.
The throw is setting up the run in this game, and that's the story. Or just a big play. We had Notre Dame getting the ball back, set up that touchdown there. Big throw there, set up Ty's touchdown there. I just think Notre Dame should stick what they're doing. A little bit of, I think they're running a little bit more, but that pass is also being very effective today.
As they're going to pass for the 2-point conversion, it is going to be good. Kurt Schmelsley takes the 2-point conversion as the Dons, I told you, they lined up in that weird formation here. You know, everyone's expecting just a kick, but no, here they play a little trickery on the Lions as Kurt Schmelsley's able to bring the ball in for 2 more points. The holder was the man who threw that pass. I'm not exactly the number on that right there, but again, great play by Notre Dame to play a little trickery on the unsuspecting special teams from St. Viator, leading to a 15-0 lead.
What do you think Viator's going to do here on this drive?
You know, they got to get something going. Minute 25, no timeouts left is not very easy for them, but, you know, long passes down the field. Let your quarterback show off his arm. Let these receivers show off their size. They're big guys out there, 6'3", 6'4" kind of guys out there. Let them show what they can do. I think you just, you know, what can you lose right now? You're down 15-0 going into the halftime. Let these guys play.
We keep talking about the run, and Black has been great on the run, and their other running back, it's just they have 0 points. So I think they kind of got to change it up, and they have big receivers, like you said, so we'll see if they'll start throwing it here.
Danny Simon to kick off, this time from the far hash. He's going to kick it to the near side towards the camera now. He's going to bounce on the 20-yard line. It's going to stop right there as Lo Prino's finally able to pick it up. Almost another dangerous special teams play right there by St. Viator.
Notre Dame special teams has been great tonight. I really think that's part of the reason they're winning this game.
You know, it's the third phase of offense. You know, you have offense, you have defense, you have special teams. That special teams, it's forgotten, but it's important. We'll be right back here as the Viator offense is taking over at the 21-yard line. Three receivers right, one to the left for Zepka. He's going to hand it off right now, right up the middle. Not able to find much room as it looked to be number 22, Elijah Black. Not able to get much yardage there as maybe about half a foot on the play. Brings up 2nd down and long.
Decided to go with the run there. Didn't work out too well. We'll see what they do on 2nd down here with 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the first half. Notre Dame 15, St. Viator 0.
As another penalty is going to push the Lions even further up. I'm not able to catch exactly the call, but it's going to push them up to the 36-yard line here. With some dangerous field position, the Lions could be in store for a score. Zepka back there in the shotgun with Black. He's going to roll out right with Black. He's going to look for a man downfield. He's going to cut back inside. He's going to tuck and run, but not able to get far as he's eventually taken down right to the line of scrimmage. As yet another flag comes flying in from the far side late in the play.
It's a good job at Notre Dame defense to adjust there. He was thinking pass all the way and decided to keep it and run, and Notre Dame just collapsed on him. Flag on the play here.
Another penalty, personal foul, face mask called on Notre Dame. It's going to push the Lions even further up inside the own zone now with a minute left to play. You know, I said they needed to pass the ball down the field. Penalties work just as good as well.
We have 53 seconds left. We have one running back in the backfield.
As a shot goes down the field and just to the hands of the Dons defender. Looked like it was intended for number 15, Jack Zepka is the quarterback there. Can't exactly see the receiver's number at the moment as he's heading back down the sideline. But again, incompletion. Dons hold them to a 2nd and 10 now. As another pass, he's going to roll out right. He's going to find his man down the field, but the pass is incomplete, intended for Owen Hickey.
Pass is way off there. Notre Dame, good defense there. We have 41. I mean, my mistake. Second quarter, Notre Dame 15 and St. Viator 0.
3rd down and 10 coming up with 40 seconds left to play. Zybka's got to make a throw here. He's got to complete a throw as well. As 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Man in the backfield with Zybka looks to be Black. Elijah Black is the man who's been pretty good in the running game, but also been able to catch a couple passes outside the backfield as well.
He's been their offense tonight, I believe. I mean, he's running up all down this field.
And Zybka taking a shot downfield to number 6. He finds his man down the field to the 5, to the 10, and inside the end zone goes number 6. That's Kevin Murphy there for the Viator Lions. A shot down the field is completed for the first time as St. Viator is able to score their first, as a holding is called after the flag is thrown on the play. Nice shot out right there by Mr. Tully, able to call that before the refs did. It's going to bring this play all the way back from St. Viator. A 47-yard touchdown pass washed right out of the stat books, brought to a 3rd down and 20 now.
Big break there for the Dons.
You know, the Murphy's able to split the defenders deep, split Ty Gavin, split Frank Gimarusti as well, and get the ball all the way down there. That's a heave right there by Zybka as well. Gets the ball all the way down there to the 10-yard line where Murphy just has to run it in, but again, called all the way back. Now down to the 42-yard line goes the Lions offense here. 30 seconds left to play. They got to do something here on 3rd down to be able to get a touchdown by the end of this drive if they want to. As Zybka is going to have 3 receivers right as a final timeout is called by Notre Dame. That's their 2nd charge timeout of the half. They still have 1 left if they need to use it here, but a big 3rd down coming up. Coach Hennessy definitely wants to make sure he has the right defense dialed up here against a Lions offense that just flashed some big potential. We'll be right back here in Niles, listening to the ND Media Crew channel on YouTube Live. We are back here in Niles for a big 3rd down upcoming. Zybka, same formation, 3 receivers right, 1 left. Man in the backfield is Elijah Black. As Zybka's going to drop back, he's going to roll right, trying to look downfield. Can't find anyone until they find one's around the 35-yard line, but he's wrestled down immediately, about 7 yards short of the 1st down, around the 43-yard line. St. Viator's not able to convert here. They are able to get out of bounds, though, which does help their 4th down cause.
They have to punt here.
The time is running, actually, so
they may go
he
for
just
it,
missed. They got to go for something here. You know, got 5 seconds counting down. Zybka's got to get the snap off. They're not going to be able to, as finally the referees are calling a timeout really quick as they're trying to sort some things out really right here. A little confusion up here, a little confusion on the field. What's new? Refs are talking it over right now. The clock did run out here in the stadium, but the referee is going to call it. Did they call it a referee timeout before or after that clock hit 0-0? 15-0 is the score for Notre Dame. If the half ends right now, referee is stepping out to make the announcement right now. They're talking yet again. Zybka and the Lion offense is lining up. Referees are still talking it over right now. The guys up here in the booth with the clock, running the clock, are not exactly sure either what is happening as they are coming over to talk to Coach Hennessy right now. St. Viator had no timeouts to call on that play, so any timeout they were trying to call, that I believe that is either just nothing or it could possibly be an unsportsmanlike penalty depending on how these rules are. Got to keep track of those timeouts, and they're talking over with Coach Hennessy here as they're trying to fill some time awaiting this decision.
Yeah, I really wonder what's going to happen here. I think there's confusion everywhere right now.
There really is. I don't think anyone on this field knows exactly what's going to happen as they're going to start the time back up on the clock. They're going to put some time back on the clock as Notre Dame is sending 5 guys deep. As 17 seconds is back on the clock. Zybka's got one more chance at a shot down the field. Clock is reset. The teams are set. Notre Dame secondary is 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And Zybka's going to take the snap. He's going to roll right, looking for a man downfield. He gets the pass off, but still comes short on 4th down and 7. After all that confusion with the clock, the play goes incomplete with 8 seconds left to play. Dons will take over on offense. I can't expect anything but a knee right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. They just have to need here. Can't do anything here because can't have a fumble, can't have an interception. I would just need
Again, risk versus reward.
Yep.
The risk here is pretty bad and the reward not so great. So can't imagine anything but that from Coach Hennessy. But again, trickery is his game tonight. So you never really know. With 8 seconds left to play, the Dons are up 15-0. If the score stands as it is right now, make sure you guys stick around for halftime. We're going to have our usual halftime show with a special guest, Mr. Tully. Dons are not lining up in a kneel-down formation as they're going to split 2 receivers right, 2 left. Sales with Gavin next to him. Can't imagine anything but a handoff to Gavin here, but again, I'm wrong. Been wrong so far. As the handoff will go to Gavin. He's going to move right up the middle. He's going to move left. He's going to cut back inside after a big gain on first down. Ty Gavin's going to get the ball down to the 40-yard line, and Coach Hennessy's going to call his final timeout with just under 2 seconds left to play in the first half here, as the Dons are going to try to take a shot at the end zone, I'm presuming right now.
I mean, everyone's sink and throw here, but they actually may run it if Viator puts 5 people back, just like how Notre Dame did. And Viator, when Notre Dame had everyone deep, Viator threw it short. I know he didn't make the pass, but still, I think Notre Dame has a lot to do here. He might do some trickery again.
Yeah, you never see it. In this position, too, this is actually a not bad position for Notre Dame's offense. The 40-yard line, definitely not going to go for a field goal right now. Punts out of the question as well. I think that a running play to just get some yardage, let the clock run out, just be done with this half, or take a shot down the field if they feel it necessary or they feel it advantageous for their cause as well. It's 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Notre Dame definitely thinking this play over pretty hardly, as the Lions are going to line up with, again, 5 defensive backs out there. They're probably going to only rush 3 guys, as everyone else is going to drop back in coverage, as Sales is going to have to make a big throw here. He already has an interception so far today, as he's going to take the snap here, sure, next to him. He's going to block it with Gavin, actually. Big shot down the field by Sales, down the right side. He got a man open and just overthrows him. Number 11, John McDonough, was the intended target. He had him down on the sideline, the right sideline. Not able to hit him, though, as the ball falls incomplete to end the first half here in Notre Dame. Still not bad for the Dons as they go into this halftime leading 15-0. Make sure you guys, again, stay tuned for the Notre Dame halftime show with Mr. Tully here today. You're listening to the ND Media Crew on YouTube Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of play for the Notre Dame Dons versus the St. Viator Lions. I'm here as Ryan Dalkin alongside Josh Lill, our third quarter specialist, as he does perform on the band. If you do pay attention to our Twitter account, you will know we just gave Josh Lill and the band a shout out there.
Thank you, Ryan, and to the media crew.
So we are here. The Dons are up 15-0. They've had a pretty good start. St. Viator has not been able to do much. They do have a couple of interceptions on Anthony Sales. One of them was a ball bouncing off the helmet, so it wasn't really too much of an interception, but it was. But as St. Viator kicks the ball off, it will be returned by the Dons as he tries to find a lane, and he trucks a guy. but does get taken down at around the 31-yard line.
And you know the conditions before the game, Ryan. I mean, being in the van, we weren't sure if we were going to play because we don't play in rain. So about, an hour before it cleared up. But when we were marching on the field, that field's slippery. As we see there, that every juke can lead to something big. The littlest juke could lead to a 50-yard gain. I mean, that's what the conditions bring on AstroTurf here. So that could be a difference maker. And we've kind of seen it a little bit throughout this game, but for the future too.
And, I mean, we talked about it earlier in the game. We said it was raining earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't too much of a rain, as the expert weatherman speaks. It wasn't too much of a rain, but it was a little bit of like a light rain, so it was heavy enough to cause a slippery field as Julian Schur takes the ball up, a gain of about 9 yards on the carry there.
Mm-hmm.
Found the lane, great blocking there by the O-line. But as I was saying earlier, the field does get slippery.
It does.
It is a turf field, and it's meant to absorb all that liquid. But sometimes if it gets a little bit flooded, it can get slippery. And I know these guys, these players, wear the spikes and the cleats, but they're not perfect.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the rain, it wasn't heavy rain, but it came down for a long time.
Sales hands the ball off to Gavin as Gavin gets taken down at around the line of scrimmage, and it looks to be third down and about a yard remaining.
Yeah, since Ty Gavin's been on varsity, the running game has been a huge part of Notre Dame's success. And even before Ty Gavin, if I'm correct, a few years before, Chris James, running back on Wisconsin, is an alumni from here. So the running game, as you look, has kind of always been strong here at Notre Dame. We've been able to get good backs like we see tonight, in Ty Gavin and Julian Schur. They got elusiveness, quickness, and a lot of strength to get through the line and get around and get big yardage.
And Notre Dame really hasn't had like a great quarterback in a while, and we may see that in the future of Anthony Sales as he is a sophomore. As the Dons will get that first down on the carry by Ty Gavin, but we see Anthony Sales. He is the future of this team. He will get the starting job next year,
and probably the year after that.
Yeah, and the year after that too. Although the junior Max General stands in at the backup quarterback. Actually, right now it's Rory O'Donnell, but Max General is the third string, and he will be the backup next year. So you look to develop him as well because he is your last line of defense.
Yes,
as they will hand the ball off to Ty Gavin as Ty Gavin gains about 4 or 5 yards on the carry there, as it will be second down and about 6.
Now, there could have been a touchdown for the Lions on the last play there, but if I'm correct, there was a penalty. I couldn't see because the band, we lined up down there.
Yeah.
But that could have been a difference maker because, say they make the extra point or they get the 2-point conversion, it's a one-possession game. And that fuels the Lions. Hey, we're on 5, but you know what? We're within one possession of Notre Dame, which is a 4-1 team. And that's also the feeling Notre Dame felt when they played Marist. They lost by 1 touchdown, but it gave them confidence because, hey, we were able to compete against such a talented team like so.
And Ty Gavin gets stuffed out around the line of scrimmage as it will be third down and about 4 yards to go as they look to have Julian Schur and Ty Gavin both onto the field. Julian Schur is one of the guys that you can put as a running back, or you can put him as a slot receiver. He can go anywhere.
Your returner, too.
He is also the future of the team, as he will get the starting job next year. And Anthony Sales passes the ball over. That looks to be Kurt Schmelzley as he gets taken down a little bit after the first down. He does get the first down. That was 24, Kurt Schmelzley on the play there. As it is now 1st and 10 for the Dons as they make it onto the other side of the field. And, I mean, the Dons game has been working for them. They had a pretty slow first quarter. They've had a couple of bad plays, a couple of interceptions, but it has been working for them. They had that great 2-point conversion play in the second quarter, and Anthony Sales looks to continue it on with a very high toss up there. And a little bit of a contact there as Frank Gimarusti was the intended receiver. He jumped up and got
on the play.
Yeah, he got landed on funny. But Anthony Sales looks to start it up. Frank Gimarusti, one of the primetime guys for this team. He's gotten a couple of interceptions.
Against Marist, that was
yes.
two interceptions, if I'm correct.
He got 2 touchdowns. I think he got a pick 6 on one of them. But anyways, here's Anthony Sales. He got Julian Schur behind him, and they run the read option there. As Julian Schur goes, he may be placed at the first down marker. And they will not place him there. That will be 3rd and about a yard remaining.
You probably use Ty Gavin at this point. Just run up the middle, get the yard. But, Ryan, I think what's being said here tonight is Notre Dame, I mean, they're passing, but if anything, we haven't seen passes that have even been attempted for maybe over 20 yards. So I think the short pass game is working really well for them, as we've seen so far in this game and kind of throughout the season. But this team's led, like I said, by their running game. But what do you think they need to do to improve their passing game?
I think they have to keep it short. Ty Gavin is placed. He looks to be placed maybe past the first down marker as placing it down. But anyways, yes, that will be a first down for the Dons. But anyways, like you were saying, the short passes work. Short passes are completely underrated in this game. If you get good blocking, you can go very far on a short pass. Do a quick slants route, or you can do a little post move. But all these different things that you can do on a short passes. And Anthony Sales, he doesn't have the best accuracy by any means, but he does have speed. So you get him scrambling out of the pocket, a little bit of pass behind the intended receiver. That looks to be Kyle Kozik was the intended receiver, but like I said, Anthony Sales doesn't have the best accuracy, but you get him scrambling out of the pocket, and he can do a lot of good things for you. Anthony Sales loves to run the ball. He has a tremendous amount of speed.
Yes.
So I think running the West Coast offense definitely is one of the things that the Dons should do, especially around Anthony Sales. And maybe over the offseason try and develop his arm a lot more and get him some accuracy as they toss the ball over to Julian Schur as he will get a couple of yards on the play, and that will be 3rd down at about 6. 3rd and 6, I was right.
Good guess, right?
Notre Dame math skills.
Now, also, if we look at the defense that's being played this game, it's pretty good for both teams. Viator, has had a few mishaps and some slips on some plays, but they've had 2 interceptions. Again, like you said, one hit a helmet, kind of shouldn't have been, but it counts. It's in the books. And Notre Dame has 2 fumble recoveries. So I think this shows that they both came for defense, but also Viator's offense needs to step up because their defense is giving it, their all, right, Ryan? And offense needs to step up because, they need this win tremendously right now. Everything – I'm just trying to say they need it.
yes, they need a win. Any win will help out. But Anthony Sales tried to scramble out of the pocket there, and he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. As it will be 4th down, and again, that awkward field position. This is one of the plays where it's too far for a field goal, but it's too close for a punt. So they kind of have to go for it in this situation. Unfortunately, as many people would want them to kick the field goal to try and get the points, it's just too far, even with Danny Simon, who has a very, very good kick. But Anthony Sales running around, trying to get a guy, but it was way over his head, as that will turn the ball over.
He probably could have ran on that. I think he had some room. 3 yards is better than nothing. So I don't know if, to us, it looked like, there was a little space for him to run, maybe even for the first down. But there probably was, some defender, that he saw that we probably couldn't see, and he had to get rid of it.
Yeah, Sales was definitely trying to go for that first down. I don't think he was worried about getting better fielding position for the defense. I think he was more worried on trying to get that first down. So I don't think he was looking to run the ball, although he does have speed. He was trying to get that first down there, as the Lions will set up their offense at around the 30-yard line, as they will hand the ball off to Elijah Black, as that will be taken down at around the line of scrimmage.
Now, Elijah Black has not had a bad game. I mean, he's been elusive, just like, Notre Dame's running backs, maybe not doing as good right now in this game, but he's seeing everything through. The offensive line, credit to them too, they're giving him some space to run. It may not be, in big gains, but as we've seen, the littlest gains, especially in this game, can make the difference. It's led them to close drives, unfortunately for them, not scoring, but, his running game is not bad. I think it could develop over the season, maybe get a little bit better for, future to come.
Oh, and a big hit there. That looks to be number 2, Xavier Buckley, on the big hit there as that ball went all the way up. That was intended for, that looks to be number 6, Kevin Murphy, was the intended receiver. He looks to be a little bit shaken up over there, but he was hit in midair, so honestly, I would be shaken up by that too. Yeah. That's a pretty big hit.
But, maybe we could have seen an interception there, because the way it hit, the receiver, and the way Xavier Buckley hit him, it hung in the air for a little bit. So I had my eye out there. I'm like, is a defender going to, come in here and take the ball? So it's those plays that could create easy interceptions, like hitting the helmet for the Viator.
Zebka running over to his right, trying to find a man. He finds a receiver, but just gets out of bounds, as they look to say he did catch it, although he did walk out of bounds. As that will be 4th down, and the punting team will come out. And 3 and out there for the Lions. Not what they needed. They need to get some points on the board, and now they're punting the ball back to the Dons, as Julian Schur is there to return the ball.
Let's see if we'll see a punt return right here.
Julian Schur is a very, very fast guy. He's small but mighty.
Like Tariq Cohen from the Bears.
Yes.
Short punt.
So, very short punt, wondering he did not touch the ball there. And so they start at around the 40-yard line, as Julian Schur was not able to get the ball there. It was a little bit of a short punt, though we did want to see a punt return. Unfortunately, we did not.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Now, going back to their passing game, in your opinion, why do you believe that they're not throwing, at least Notre Dame's not attempting the 30-yard, 35-yard passes?
It's all about Anthony Sales. And as great of a quarterback Anthony Sales is, it's very hard to throw a ball 30, 35 yards and get it accurate.
Yeah.
And Anthony Sales, he's definitely better. He has a better power arm than he does accurate arm. And it's harder for him to throw the ball 30, 35 yards. But they could throw the ball 5, 10 yards and maybe eventually get to that 30, 35-yard play due to run after catch.
Yeah.
RIC, RAC.
It may, it could be a 1-yard screen pass or maybe even a lateral, but you still get the yardage out of it. So that's what also could make his passing look good and, attract other teams to be like, okay, we got to stop him because you know what? His short throws, he finds guys that are open and that can get open down the field, and that's dangerous for the Dons.
And they toss the ball over to Julian Schur as he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage, as it will be 3rd and about 9 here for the Dons. And the Lions defense read that all the way, as they knew that they were going to try and toss the ball over to Julian Schur, as the Dons have done that play before, and they love doing that play. As Frank Marusti will be subbed in. He's a wide receiver, red zone threat there for the Dons.
Definitely.
And so Anthony Sales, he's got Ty Gavin to his right, and he's got 3 receivers to his right. Runs the ball, dodges a guy, and has to run it himself as he gets run over by his own guy, unfortunately, and gets taken down. And it is now 4th down, and it looks like the punting team will come out. And another 3 and out in this game, As again, like a previous tweet we posted, a ping pong game where it just goes back and forth and back and forth.
Definitely, and that's kind of playing in the Dons' favor because they're winning. So, I mean, yes, they need more points just to ensure that they win. But I mean, if your defense is holding up and it's kind of a back and forth game, I mean, it's kind of okay with you because you're stopping them. There's nothing you could do. You've had, if I'm correct, 2 consecutive 3-and-outs. If I'm correct, I don't know if I am. But that's huge for your defense. So there's nothing really to worry about, but there's the concern that your offense is struggling against an 0-5 defense.
And so there was a flag on the play. It was a holding call on the Dons, but it was declined by the Lions as they punt the ball off here and takes a Dons bounce there and lands at around looks to be the 36-yard line. And the Lions will set up here with around 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. They do have the entire fourth quarter to come back from 15 points, although they haven't been able to put themselves on the board. And again, this is very similar to last game, although against, I believe, Marion Central last week, the Dons did score 35 points in the first half, but the Dons come out here again, preventing 0 points at all in the first 3 quarters. The Dons did give up a touchdown in the very first play of the fourth quarter of last game. So the Dons defense really coming out and showing how dominant they are, not letting the Lions do anything. As the Lions
that goes for any team too, really. I mean,
as the Dons will make a big stop there, a loss of about 3 or 4 yards on the play, and it will be second and long for the Lions as they will try and set themselves up, and that run did not work for them at all as the Dons D-line is dominated by guys like Andrew Serrano.
And Brendan Sheehy.
All those guys.
Yeah, it's guys like that. And they're running a 3-4 defense, if I'm correct. All 3 of those defensive linemen, they're all seniors. And you know when seniors are on a high school varsity football team that they are going to play their hearts out. And we've seen that throughout the season. It's a dominant line.
And a long pass there intended, looks to be number 47 for the Lions. That is Daniel Niesman for the Lions. That ball went way over his head. And it will be third and long here for the Lions as they try and do something, hoping not to go for another 3-and-out.
Yeah, that would probably be that would probably be the nail in the coffin right there because you're starting to run out of time. And with the way, if the Dons offense kicks up again and the way their defense is holding up, there's not much you can do at this point. So this is a pivotal 3rd and 12 right here. Maybe go for as we see there in the shotgun. So maybe a short pass right here for a long gain.
They will hand the ball off, but he breaks a few tackles and breaks another one, but gets stopped and can't do anything as he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It will be 4th and long. A loss of a couple of yards, but doesn't matter. 4th 12, 4th and 14, still 4th down. As they will come out and punt it. Will be another 3-and-out here. As Julian Schur, as we talked about before, maybe can have a punt return here.
Let's try this time.
Hopefully we don't jinx it. We probably will now that I called it out. But we'll see.
Knock on wood. Yeah, they don't want him returning it. Line drive kicks.
Oh, he looked to step out of bounds there. He tried to return. I did jinx it there. We didn't get a punt return. I shouldn't have said anything. But it will be at around the 43-yard line for the Dons here as they try and do something. Maybe try and get a field goal to make it more than just a 2-possession game. Make it a 3-possession game. And for Anthony Sales, he's got to lead his offense here and not get into a 3-and-out. Although the Dons would love to run the ball, Anthony Sales does not have any running backs in the backfield. And they motion the ball over
There's that long pass.
Long pass and just a little bit too far ahead of Ty Gavin as he was wide open on the play. And again, going for that 35-yard pass. Although that one looked to work, Anthony Sales just not really not built up as much as a junior or senior level quarterback, although he is a good quarterback. I am not denying that whatsoever.
Led the freshman to a conference championship last year.
Yes, so for Anthony Sales, he just has to right now focus, stay patient, don't listen to guys like me who are criticizing him, and just work on his game. Oh, and a big stop there by Kurt Schmelsley. A big block. I believe that was a put down there for Kurt Schmelsley, although Anthony Sales was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So it will be 3rd and about 12 as they look to, again, not get a 3 and out, although that has been a common sight in today's game.
Yeah, definitely. As we look back on it, I mean, yeah, you're up 15-0, but when you really think about it, it kind of is a close game. You're within 2 scoring plays of tying it up or losing the lead. So I think what they got to do is they got to finish this team off. They got to finish off St. Viator in the 4th quarter, get a few touchdowns, get some interceptions or fumbles, because they were good about that in the first.
Anthony Sales tries to go and run the ball as he gets a first down and keeps it going. And a great play there by Anthony Sales to find the open lane and gets that first down. And now they get to chew the clock. It's about 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Way to not give up on that play. I mean, I'll be honest, it looked like he was going to get tackled, but using his basketball ability, which he plays on our varsity basketball team here at school, as we watch, he's able to get around defenders in both sports so well, and we've seen it here tonight in past games and in other sports too. So kudos to him for not giving up on that play.
Kudos.
Credibility, one of those old words, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And now Sales has got Ty Gavin as he just gets stuffed behind the line of scrimmage and gets nothing on the plays. It will be 2nd down and about 11. And that will conclude the 3rd quarter of play. The Dons are up 15-0 and are looking to try and score again into this 4th quarter. The Lions looking to get a single point on the board.
Yes.
Trying to just get something, or I guess you can't really get just 1 point on the board. Trying to get something more than a field goal.
Yeah.
Something on the board to help
maybe
them
even
get
a
into this
safety.
game. Yes, a safety would work too. Just anything on the board, just to summarize what we just said. So basically, the Lions are trying to get anything on the board, and the Dons are trying to just chew the clock as it is 15-0 in favor of the Dons going into the 4th quarter. I'm Ryan Dalkin alongside Josh Lill, and you're listening to the Notre Dame Media Crew on YouTube Live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 4th quarter. I'm Ryan Dalkin alongside Ryan Nelson as we are back from the 1st quarter and announcing here together in the 4th quarter.
Yes, we are, and Notre Dame and Viator both held scoreless in that 3rd as Sales is trying to get that score back on top of Notre Dame as the pass goes quick to the line. Sure, able to get the ball back up to the line of scrimmage, but not able to do much more. Brings up a 3rd down and 13 for the Dons.
And the Dons just trying to get something here. Now what they need is just something to get more yardage. This is another one of the plays where they could possibly punt here with Danny Simon. If he has a good short punt here, they can get some good fielding position or prevent the Lions from getting good field position as Notre Dame, there looks to be a timeout called or some kind of confusion going on. No, there isn't.
Just a little bit of time needed to sort out some plays. It looks like clock's continuing to run. Again, this is a big 3rd down for the Dons as if they can get this 1st down here and keep this drive going and able to get into the end zone by the end of it, this could be a nail in the coffin for the Lions as they'll put the score in over a 20-point lead for Notre Dame as Sales and Schmelsley are back to take the snap. Shale's going to drop back to pass. He throws out right to find Julian Schur. Schur's met the 40, breaks out of one tackle, kept on moving, and gets up to the 35 before he's eventually taken down. Now we get a first down, brings up a 4th down and 6 now. Now if you're the Dons, you continue to go for it here. You've been aggressive all game. Why stop now?
Yeah, exactly. And again, we can't stress this enough. There's a point where it's just too close to punt the ball and just too far to kick a field goal. So for the Dons right now, all they got to do is go for it, because when you get around the 40 to 30 yard line, it just gets a little too close for comfort there.
Yeah, and that was Nico Witter on the stop there on 3rd down as the handoff does not go to Ty. He's going to pull it back. Sales dropping deep. He throws the pass, but just outstretched the reach of, it looks like, number 10, Kyle Kozik, who was streaking down the left sideline. That's going to be a turnover on downs for the Dons. Sales, that's another overthrown pass there. Do you think they got to dial down the long passing throws, or do you think Sales got to dial in to those long passing throws?
I think they got to dial down on the long passes. We've seen the Dons try and throw those try and get those long passes over from Anthony Sales, and like I said in the 3rd quarter, Anthony Sales does have the arm. He doesn't have the accuracy yet.
It's that touch that you need.
It's a touch that you need, like you just said. And I think for right now, the Dons should try and run that West Coast offense, trying to get those short passes, and try and get the Dons to get those those yards after carry.
As Lions offense will take over here with 4 receivers out there, as Zedlock is going to tuck it and run a little bit. He gets up to the 35 before he's eventually hit and gets away past number 23 from the Dons, who eventually muscled him down. That's Matthew Murphy there. You know, as Jack and I were saying in the 2nd quarter, any yardage is good, especially on 1st down. A 3-yard, 4-yard run like that can help make sure 2nd down's not as long, which then in turn makes 3rd down not as long.
Yeah, and I mean, the Dons love that running game. I mean, why wouldn't you if you have Ty Gavin and Julian Schur in your backfield? But, I mean, for the Lions, their passing game, it hasn't been perfect. That's intercepted by Ty Gavin. Speak of the devil, and Ty Gavin goes and tries to go for that pick 6. He has a little bit of a lane. He's wide open there, and there he goes for the pick 6. Another touchdown there for the Dons, as it is now a 3-possession game. 21-0 for the Dons.
Now we are talking about Anthony Sales overthrows the ball there. That was an overthrow that cost him by Jack Zebka. That pass was intended for Kevin Murphy, but again, just over the heads. Ty Gavin leaps up in the air, able to grab it, able to break a couple tackles down by the 20-yard line and find some lanes. He's so good at doing that on offense. Why not on defense? On Trout to the end zone. Ty Gavin gets another touchdown here tonight. That's his 3rd of the game. 2 on offense, 2 on defense. As the Dons will go for the extra point this time. No 2-point conversion trickery now.
I mean, you never know. But they would be smart just to go for that one extra point. So it is now 21-0, trying to go for that 22. As it is good by the kicker, Danny Simon. And now it is 22-0 in favor of the Dons. And that defense really shows why they are such a powerhouse in this league.
You know, we always focus on the offense and how good Ty Gavin and rating MVP. You know how much of the MVP came from his defensive play? He was great on defense last year as a first-year starter on defense. He was mostly running back in freshman and sophomore year. As a junior, comes in, starts on varsity, that safety role, that center fielding safety who can move sideline to sideline, numbers to numbers. This guy can do it, and he plays it very well.
So the Lions looking to just get something done here. They haven't been able to do much this game. They haven't gotten any points on the board. I think they've only gotten into the Dons' territory once in the game. So they have been struggling so far on offense. Their defense has played pretty well in the first half. They did limit the Dons to 0 points in the first quarter and 15 points in the second and third quarter. And so in the fourth quarter, the Dons come out with a defensive touchdown by Ty Gavin. Ty Gavin having all of the touchdowns for the Dons so far, and the Dons looking to just stop the Lions, get the ball back, and chew the clock as they kick the ball over. And the Lions, he gets down on his knees. He slips on that with the wet grass. That was number 9. That's Hunter Leprino back there for the Lions as he is down at around, it looks to be the 12-yard line for the Lions as they try and just start something. We have said this a lot, that the Lions just need to put something on the board. They haven't been able to do anything so far in this game, and they just need to be able to do something, and they need to be able to, like I said, put something on the board, get some points so that they can build off of it. It's now a 3-possession game, so they need at least 3 touchdowns to come back, although the Dons did get that 2-point conversion. So Zebka's back, gets a quick slant route over, and that looks to be a first down. That was number 28, Owen Hickey, and that was I believe that was Ty Gavin on the on the tackle there.
You know, one thing that Zebka's got to do here, got to be able to spread the ball around, got to be able to find the man down the field. He's got to be able to hit it. You know, accuracy is sometimes one of those things that people just say, you know what, every quarterback has to be accurate. Yeah, but, you know, it costs people sometimes. As Zebka's in the shotgun, 3 receivers left, 1 right. As the horn accidentally sounds on the scoreboard, Zebka gets a quick pass off to number 26 on the right side. He shuffles a little bit, and is able to get the ball down to the first down marker, depending on where they spot it.
And that was Owen Hickey on the catch there, number 28. He had the that will be, they look to place that behind the first down marker, and that will be 3rd and inches.
That's a tough position for the Lions to be put into, because do you try to run the ball here and just try to get the first down with that dominant defensive
that will
front?
be a first down.
As my conversation becomes useless as the referees pick the spot and get a first down for the Lions there. I think that's the right call, honestly. Forward possession, he kept fighting through some tackles and they able to get the first down for the Lions as the same formation comes back out here.
Your conversations are never useless.
As Zebka's in the shotgun. He gets the snap. He's going to drop back to pass yet again. He's going to find a man over the middle of the field, and the flag is not. Yep, there comes the flag from the far side judge as the little hold there on Mr. Hickey there on the outside. Same target, different result this time as the penalty flag is thrown.
Yeah, and the Lions got a big break there. That ball was way over his head, and that was not going anywhere near him, although there was a holding play there. Or, a little bit of a pass interference. So the play will be moved up, and the Lions will look to actually start something here as they have not exactly made it into the Dons territory yet. They're trying for maybe their 2nd or 3rd time going into the Dons territory.
And, this offense is not as bad as their record shows. They're 0-5, and everyone likes to bring out that big stat. But this team's been in it for most of their games. Now, yes, the scoreboard reads 22-0 right now, but Zebka has led this team to some good plays. Just some of his receivers haven't been as elite as he wants them to. As an overthrow right there by Zebka is a nice big hit. Comes in late by Matt Murphy. The coaches on Viator side does not like that non-call at all. But play stands as an incompletion. 2-10, 2nd and 10 coming up. As I was saying, Zebka, he's found some receivers, and he's been able to distribute the ball pretty decently in this game, in my opinion. But those receivers got to catch the ball. He's able to hit the receivers. You have big play capability on this team when it comes to their receiving core. They're big, they're fast. This quarterback's got an arm, as we saw in the very last drive of that first half, where he's take a shot down the field, threw the ball at least 40 yards, but the play comes back with a holding call. This guy's got talent. He's got to be able to show it, and his team's got to come together to show it. Zebka takes a snap. He almost fumbles there. He's going to move left in the pocket. He's going to get outside the pocket. He's going to rifle it down to the left side, intended for number 17, but nothing is happening as it goes right through the hands, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Pass was intended for number 17, who is not on our roster. So mystery man, number 47, he is on our roster. That's Daniel Neisman. You know, I was talking about my conversations being useless, and maybe they are sometimes.
Don't be a Debbie Downer.
Notre Dame is up 22-0, so it's very hard if you're a Notre Dame fan to be disappointed with this showing right here against St. Viator.
Although I was a little bit worried in the first quarter. The Dons were not able to get anything, but they did come back at 15 points in the second quarter. Third quarter, they were shut down by the Lions defense. Now they come back after. Actually, they were still about the Lions defense. That is actually picked off
again, as it looks like Michael Jeckett possibly able to jump up there and grab the ball out of midair. As it's actually number 3, Frank Gimarusti. Number 6.
That's 6, Anthony Ronaldo.
You know, I was wrong 2 times, third time's the charm always, as Ronaldo is able to find the pass. You know, that's an underthrown ball. We have an overthrow ball. He's going to find that right perfect spot eventually.
Third time's the charm.
But the Notre Dame offense will now take over at the 46-yard line. Now, I know these guys definitely out there, as Sales and Julian Schur will be the 2 guys in the backfield. As the Dons travel to the far hash to snap this ball on 1st and 10. 2 receivers right. Schmelzley's on the left side of the offensive line, as Sales is going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Schur. He's going to run left. He's going to cut back inside. Down to the 40-yard line goes Julian Schur on a 6-yard gain there on 1st down.
Number 27, Julian Schur on the carry. Brought down by number 52, Brandon Taylor.
So the Dons just looking to do something, chew the clock as they hand the ball off to Julian Schur. And that will be a 1st down. It looks to be placed right around the 35-yard line, as the Dons will move the chains and look to make it maybe even a 4-possession game.
You know, Ty Gavin is there on both offense and defense, as we definitely know now. You know, sometimes you got to get this guy a break, and Julian Schur is the perfect guy to give the ball to. As, you know, I wouldn't say he's a complete foil to Ty, but, you know, he's a fast and really agile guy who just makes his own holes. Who bursts through the holes. Ty Gavin makes his own holes, as Schur is able to push himself forward for a 1-yard gain, eventually stopped right at the line of scrimmage by number 10, Nico Wetter, who we have not mentioned much, but he is the leading tackler for this Lions defense. He's been a big piece to this puzzle. That's, you know, not much success on the record, but success in the games.
And so the Dons are looking to kind of chew the clock here. It's about 6 minutes and running clock, as the Dons are just trying to, again, run down the clock because they have the game in the bag.
Sales moving right, cuts inside, he finds a hole. Julian Schur able to get down to the 7-yard line before he's taken down at the knees. Able to get a big gain there on 2nd down for the Dons. Gets to a 1st and goal with 5:40 left to play in the game.
And a great job there by Julian Schur. And also a great job, we haven't talked about them a lot, the offensive line, and getting great blocks, opening up that hole for Julian Schur to run through and get that huge gain there. Very close to a touchdown there.
And there's going to be a holding call on the offense. That's going to bring that entire run by Schur all the way back down to the 45-yard line, as the play is completely negated. Schur, you know, offensive line, you know, they have some holding calls, but yes, Ryan, I do agree with you. If the offensive line is still watching after I kind of bashed them earlier in the game, this right side has definitely shown improvement throughout the season, especially the left side. The left side and right side have been working pretty well together. Can't forget the man in the middle, Dom Dino. I know he watches these profusely after the game. You know, this is a team, their offensive line, it's really just got to work together. They only have one starter returning from last year, and now Dom Dino is going to be the one snapping the ball to Sales here in the shotgun. He's going to move back. He almost flips to the wrong side as he throws deep down the field. He's got a man down there, a little underthrown, but a big, giant pass interference right there. I don't know how you do not call that right there.
He looked to catch the ball on that. He did fall down. He did catch the ball. And that was just an incredible play there by Frank Gimarusti. What a catch there. He was on the ground, And that was just a lucky play. The ball just landed right in his hands.
I don't think Frank's going to like you calling him lucky. He's a skilled athlete out there. And, that's a play where this number 6 from Kevin Murphy, he's ripping and grabbing at Frank before the ball even comes near him. And Frank's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to catch this ball anyway. He's able to come down with it. Put the Dons inside the 5-yard line for a 1st and goal call now. I mean, that was crazy. I got to be honest.
Yeah, that was incredible.
It took you to mention it for me to even realize some of that. Frank's a skilled guy. He's used on defense and offense just like Ty. And, sometimes he doesn't get as much recognition as Ty, but he definitely deserves it.
And so there will be a timeout on the play. It will be on the for the Dons as the Dons use their first timeout of the half. So they will have 2 timeouts remaining. 3 minus 1 is 2. And so the Dons are up 22-0 with a 1st and goal opportunity in the red zone.
Ryan, we have 4:50 left to play here in this 4th quarter. 22-0 in favor of Notre Dame. Notre Dame is pushing right now inside the 5-yard line. They got the running backs down there. They got the big receivers down there. If Notre Dame scores a touchdown this drive, does Viator still have a viable and reasonable chance of winning this game?
I see what you did there, Viator. Viable. I don't think so. I think if the Dons score here, the game is basically the game is over. I think the Lions have not been able to do anything, and when they did have good drives, they ended up either botched snap or they just gave up an interception. As that will be Anthony Sales trying to run the ball.
Sales trying to get his first touchdown of the game. Ty Gavin's has a monopoly on those so far tonight, but Sales trying to make one his own as he's going to be knocked back to the 4-yard line for 2nd down and goal. Sales is throwing out his towel. He doesn't need it right now.
Blaming it on the towel.
You can always blame it on something else. The Dons are running out there with a full backfield here as Schmelsley, Ty, Sales are all in there. Handoff will go to Ronaldo actually through the middle. Oh no, it's going to be Sales keeping the ball on the edge. And Anthony Sales is in for the touchdown for Notre Dame. The fake up the middle from Anthony Ronaldo to the outside run by Anthony Sales as the Dons capitalize on the big catch by Frank Gimarusti, putting their score to 28-0 pending the extra point.
And this game is just about over. It's now a 4-possession game. And like I said before, the Lions haven't been able to do anything this game. And like I said, they've tried, but it just didn't end well for them. Either an interception or there was a botched snap at one point. Now the Dons will come out here looking to try and make it 29-0. As Danny Simon looks to go ahead and kick the ball for the PAT. And the kick will be no good as that kick went too far to the right. That was, I believe, one of the first kicks that Danny Simon has not been able to kick. That was the first PAT he has missed this season. But it will be 28-0 in favor of the Dons. And this game, about 4 minutes remaining, this game is just about over.
Even with that extra point, Notre Dame still had that 2-point conversion earlier, so a 28-0 is still a pretty reasonable score right now. If you're saying Viator, what you could take away from this game is this is a team that's only lost to one team, and that's Marist, which is ranked top 10 in the state. This is a team in Notre Dame that's ranked 20th right now. This is a team that's very good in Notre Dame, and they've held them to 28 points. When last week they're scoring 44 and upwards of that number against some pretty good defenses. So they better take out of this game. That's a very good defensive performance from them. Offensively, yes, Notre Dame has a pretty good defense, but, offense is not very easy to come by.
No, and one thing that a lot of these ranking people, I don't know what you want to call them, but these people that
some of them may be listening right now, Ryan,
yes,
so make sure you
watch
what you say.
But
Notre Dame's now 21 instead of 20 because of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, they not only look for offense, they don't look for how many points they look for how many points you score, but they also look at points against. And in this game, the Dons haven't given up any single points, but there is still 4 minutes remaining in the quarter. So if the Lions can do something in 4 minutes and try and get 4 touchdowns in 4 minutes,
hey,
maybe we can see a game.
Never count a team out. Never count a team out. This, sometimes we as broadcasters get very confident. We know the score. We know how the game's going to end. There's 4 minutes left.
Yes.
That's a touchdown per minute. Any team could do that. We've shown that this team can get a touchdown in 2 seconds. Anything can happen. I don't want to count Viator out yet. This Notre Dame defense has been pretty good, though.
It has, and the secondary core for the Dons have really shown. The safeties have had two interceptions so far in this game. The defensive line has put tons of pressure on Zybka, so Zybka will be here trying to find a man, as he gets sacked down. That looks to be he doesn't want me to see his number. That looks to be number 50, John Carney. John Carney on the sack there, junior at Ebinger. So good job by him and the other guys on the D-line. And the Dons have put in their juniors on the defense, kind of saving their seniors so that they don't have to worry about injuries.
Zybka now in the shotgun with 2 receivers either side. He's going to throw it to the receiver on the right side. He's going to find the ball at the 20-yard line, but immediately tackled there by, looked like Xavier Buckley over there. Great job right there from wrapping up by the man they call X. 3rd down and 11 coming up here for the Lions offense. Not able to find much success here on this drive so far, but again, 3rd down, 4th down. Never know what can happen. Same formation here for Zybka. He's going to try to find an open man here down the field. He's got to push it down 11 yards to get a 1st down. He's going to roll out right. He's going to look down the field. He finds a man down the sidelines, but he cannot corral the ball before he's shoved out of bounds for no completion.
And about 2:30 remaining in the game. There's really not much more the Lions can do. I mean, they can try. They have already wasted a minute and a half here. They're just going to pass the ball, try and stop the clock. The pass game kind of has been working for them so far in this game, but the Dons defense has really showed how powerful they are.
This secondary, you don't see too many big guys. I mean, Ty Gavin, but Frank Jimarusti, Xavier Buckley, Matt Murphy, some of these guys, Sean Posner even, these guys as the punt gets, it's a pretty good punt, but it's a flag on the play before the punt gets off.
Maybe a false start on the offense. Yes, and it will be a false start.
This defensive back group, this may be the best we've seen in a couple of years now for Notre Dame. Now, we've had some pretty good defensive backs, but this group has held receivers in check. Some of the big guys they had against Marist, they controlled them. These big guys they have against St. Viator here tonight, shut them down. This is a team that's shut down receivers when they need to in order to give the other team a lead. As the punt will be knocked back 5 more yards, and on the 2-yard line is where the Viator punter will put his leg into the ball. As he puts a pretty good spiral kick, it's going to bounce at the 8-yard line before it's corralled eventually by, it looked like, number... Trying to find that exactly.
Notre Dame is not good with their numbers.
They really aren't. That's one of the things. As broadcasters out here in the broadcaster inside the stadium, we were talking earlier, Notre Dame just got a white little outline around the green-on-green jersey numbers, if you're listening, Coach Hennessy, you may want to just look at that, for the sake of us up here in the booth. But, hey, if it's going to make him win, keep the jerseys.
Yeah, like we said, if it's not...
if it ain't broke.
If it ain't broke, don't fix.
As the 1st and 10 offense for Notre Dame will come out, led by number 12, Rory O'Donnell, the 6'4 senior for Notre Dame, with some other senior receivers out there who are usually not starting as the handoff goes to not exactly who that is as the numbers blurred her out, but another 6-yard gain right there.
And maybe Nathan Doherty on the carry.
It is, and that's a guy who's, again, last week, buried in the depth chart, good running back, just hasn't been able to, he's played in this time around here when Notre Dame has the lead, but he's a good player, and Rory O'Donnell and Coach Hennessy both know it during these experiences. As the offense will come back out, Rory O'Donnell, we haven't seen him throw many passes so far this season. He's mostly a handing the ball off kind of guy. As the snap goes to O'Donnell, he's going to hand it off again to Doherty. He's going to barrel through a couple defenders on track to just a yard short of the first down marker, bringing up a third down and just, let's guess about 2 feet there for Notre Dame. It looks like the Lions have also taken out many of their starters on defense. I'm trying to check some of these receivers' numbers to get you guys out there informed on some of these guys that are in there for the Dons now, but Roy O'Donnell is still back there in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off here to Doherty. He's going to bust through a hole. He finds another hole. He gets to the second level and the third level. Down to the 28-yard line goes Nathan Doherty for a Don first down.
And I feel bad for a guy like Nathan Doherty. He's so much talent, but he's shadowed behind guys like Ty Gavin and Julian Schur.
And that vision, too. You see that hole, you burst through the hole. Sometimes anyone could see the hole. If I was sitting back there, I could see the hole. But it's about bursting through that hole, too. And he's got that special talent.
So Rory O'Donnell here as the Dons will set up in victory formation. It is 40 seconds remaining as the Dons come out with the big win here.
Any Dons fans' favorite formation here as Roy O'Donnell makes his right knee hit that 30-yard line as the clock will continue to run here in Niles. Notre Dame with the 28-0 rout over the St. Viator Lions here. Ryan, so what do you think the big takeaway for Notre Dame is with this game? This is the game. I just want to preface this. This is the game they were expected to win. They're 4-1. Viator's 0-5. But they struggled early in the game. They came back into it, though. What's the big takeaway they need to take out of this game?
The Dons' defense came up big. They were very, very good. Their defensive backs were huge. They had 2 interceptions. And the Dons' defense coming out and really showing why they're so powerful. They had a lot of great stops. They prevented the Lions from getting any points on the board, 28-0. So I feel like the real winners of this game is the Dons' defense.
I have to agree with you. I think the offense was fine and dandy, but this defense, 0 and another shutout. This is a defense that's given up less than 6 points combined in the past 2 games. So, this defense, I said it last week, underrated performance goes to Coach DeFranza, who had a great game plan. Again here tonight, good game plan by Coach DeFranza. Now, you come to St. Viator. What does Viator have to do different next week and the rest of the season with what you've seen in this game?
Well, I think with the Lions, it's a little bit more with their offense. They had some good passes overall, but I just think they had a couple of botched plays. Zibka went, and he gave up a pick 6 there on a overthrown pass. There was a couple of short passes that he missed, but I just think for the Lions, they just got to work on their offense. I know they're a very small team, and they don't really have a lot of alternatives or guys they don't have a deep depth chart. So I just think for the Lions, they just got to come out. I know they're 0-6 so far this year, but they need to just come up with a new game plan. Come up with something that, something different. Do something that, maybe focuses more on the run game or try and come up with some trick plays to do next week. I mean, you have nothing to lose. Try and do something more. I mean, you come out in this season 0-6, so maybe come out, be creative. Be the most creative team in the league.
I like that idea. I think that this quarterback, it's a talented quarterback. I know he's not been their starter for most of the season. She flashed some talent. It's about getting that accuracy down, and I think that's the bigger takeaway from this game. I would like to thank you all for listening. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. If you are watching this live, have a great rest of your week. If you're watching this anytime else, Make sure you are subscribed to this channel right here to make sure you get updates when we get our final football game in, when we do our sports wrap-up shows. Ryan and I are in there talking about some professional sports. You know, when you get to basketball, when you get to soccer games, when you get to volleyball games, baseball games even, all these games, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also follow our Twitter account at MediaCrew_NDCP. You've seen the tweets flash across the bottom of your screen here tonight. Hopefully you liked the broadcast. Hopefully we had fun. I'd like to give a shout out to our producer, Mike Domke today, our cameraman, Matthew Furby, some of our other helpers, Carson Van Pelt, Alex Osepic, and Luke Toussaint. Have a great rest of your weekend. And finally, go Dons.